Okay, so what type of questions should you ask when you're looking to view a home or you're already in the process of viewing the home? There are some questions. I put together 10 here for you. So 10 things to ask when you view a home that you're considering buying. Now, first one is, why is the seller moving? A seller who's leaving the area to take a different job, or is going through a divorce, or who has outgrown the home has a very different reason for moving than someone who doesn't get along with, let's say, the neighbors. Knowing why the seller is leaving can also help you know if you can negotiate the price. If you see that it's a divorce situation, they may be in a rush to get out. They don't care about the price. They're just like, get me out of this house. So you can probably negotiate that in your favor. It sounds mean, but then again, you're looking to make a purchase on a home, not looking to make friends with the seller. Second one is, what comes with the property? So the general rule that I have, and I've brought this up in other episodes, is that if you turn the house upside down, what will happen is whatever falls doesn't come with the house, and whatever stays attached to the house, like fixtures and things like that, door handles, all that fun stuff, that stays with the house. But the seller might be saying, you know what, we're offering appliances, we're offering the trampoline in the backyard, we're offering the patio set in the front yard. Or you can negotiate that when you present an offer. But just ask, what's included on top of what's in the MLS? Number 3, how old is the roof? So replacing a roof can be tens of thousands of dollars if it's your average size home. So you want to make sure that you ask how old the roof is. It doesn't hurt to ask, right? The seller should know approximately when they've had the roof replaced, or if they've had it replaced at all, or if it's the original roof. That's not a good thing. So new roof can definitely cost you, thousands of dollars. So you want to ask that question. Number 4, how old and how efficient is the furnace system, the heating and cooling system, I should say, right? The air conditioner, the furnace, the water heater, all right? How efficient are these? They could be somewhat newer, but if they're not efficient models, then it's really not doing you any good. So you want to go ahead and ask about that. Number 5, are there any disclosures? Home sellers are required to report if there could be lead paint in the house, for example, or water in the basement, if they've ever had a leak. They're required to actually disclose that. And in some areas, they're even supposed to disclose asbestos. So even if you want a specialized inspection, right, that tests for asbestos or other harmful materials, the seller may not permit it. They may not allow that. So they may not want to go through that headache. But then again, if they're in a buyer's market and they want to sell their home, they should really be flexible with a home buyer. Number 6, are there any problems with the house? You can ask this, right, with the seller. You can ask a seller, hey, are there any problems with this house that you know of? If they're selling it as is, they might tell you. They're supposed to tell you by law, even though the seller may not legally have to reveal some information. Okay, there are things that they don't have to reveal. Many will. I've seen it happen. So they don't want you to get to the inspection phase of the buying process and then be surprised about a problem and back out of the sale. They don't want you to do that. Sellers don't want home buyers backing out after an inspection. It looks bad. Looks bad on the MLS, looks bad to others that are coming in after, right? They're looking at viewing this home and they see that it was off the market for 7 days and then came back on the market. That's a telltale to me as a realtor that, the inspection failed, or the buyer didn't like it. Okay. So I got number 7 here is, has the seller made any additions or renovations? That's a great question. Sometimes they're not reflected in the home's official records, all right, that they got permits. Through my area that I live in, you can see permits that were pulled on the public records, right? We had one pulled for our pool, actually multiple pulled for our pool. And then, anything else that actually have, if you've done work in the house that required permits, it should be on there. But you can simply ask. If a homeowner likes to do it themselves, chances are they have not used the proper techniques or gotten permits. That's common. Matter of fact, I know a contractor who didn't pull permits and he ended up getting in trouble by the new homeowner who purchased the house. So you got to pull permits for work, especially if you're doing electrical or plumbing or anything like that. You want to make sure that you have permits. So don't be afraid to ask if there's any additions or renovations that have been done recently. I'd say probably past 5 years. Number 8, what's the water pressure like? This applies more towards if you're looking at a home in the country, where the water pressure can vary because it's on well water. However, you can ask this in every home that you're looking at, even in the suburbs. Minimal water pressure can greatly diminish your enjoyment of the home and be expensive to fix. Absolutely, water pressure can be expensive to fix. So check for water coming from shower heads, sinks, maybe the outside faucet, where the garden hose is, things like that. Now, number 9. Has the property been surveyed recently? And if so, where are those pins? If a property has been surveyed, the surveyor puts pins, markers on all the corners of the property, and where it changes. For example, if the property comes, like here's the back of the property, right? It comes down and then on an angle and then down, they're gonna have pins there that tell you where it is. Now, here's a cool trick. You can go to your local municipality, right? Your city or your township or your village, wherever you live, and you can ask them for a plot plan, and they'll give you a drawing of your lot. Tells you how far your house is from the fence, not from the fence, from the end of your lot line. It tells you everything. It's really cool. Usually, if you smile, they'll give you one for free. They'll give you a copy for free, or they're like $1 or $2, I think, in some areas I've seen. So that's, I like to call it a poor man's survey. It's a really cool thing to have for your house anyway, especially if you're looking to, let's say, add a pool. You can draw on there where you want your pool and add measurements, and then you can present that to your city or village or township, and they get a better idea of what you're trying to do, especially when you're looking to pull permits, okay? And the last one is, are there any easements? An easement, by definition, is a legal right of a neighbor to access your property. So you want to make sure that there is no easement, okay? This can happen, think of a shared driveway, okay? A shared road, or a shared road that only goes through your property to the other house, but mainly a shared driveway. And I've had this happen. I had a client who purchased a house and they had a shared driveway. No big deal, right? They go in and then it branched off into their garages, but they had a shared driveway, so that's an easement. Another example is the easement starts on your land and branches off to other houses. If you have any plans for the yard, you'll want to know if there's anything that you can't change. So ask if there's an easement. I hope you found these questions valuable. Go ahead and share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to read what you think about these questions. Do you have any questions of your own? Go ahead and share those in the comments. Otherwise, I really appreciate you watching this episode of the Ask Jason Gelios show, and I'll see you next time.